Fellow Africans, the time for politics is over.
And I think some of us are now on the continent pushing as leaders that we must, on African continent, we must change the narrative from every time we meet, 80% of the time we're talking politics. We would like, some of us, as presidents, newer presidents on the continent, that we change the narrative. 70% of our time we must be talking about economies, investments, trade.
Wow, this is more than a message. This is a revolutionary bombshells dropped by the president of Zambia, Her Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema, to all weak African leaders. President Hichilema has joined other revolutionary leaders such as Captain Ibrahim Traore to dismantle the useless meetings, whether in the African Union or in the regional bodies, to those leaders who are always there to discuss politics instead of discussing development. As I said, the time for politics is over. It's a time for development. We want development. We want investment. Not to call Chinese and come and invest in our resources. No, we want Africans to invest in their resources. Dear lovely family, friends, fellow Africans, maybe you have a question like what I have. What our leaders are discussing when they meet in Addis, whether it's in politics, what are they discussing? They are not discussing about economy, as President Hakainde Hichilema said. They are not discussing about development. They are not discussing about investment. What are they discussing? They wait Chinese, Europeans, or America to summon them to discuss development or investment. While we are waiting Chinese, Europeans, Americans to summon us to discuss investment and development. We have to change the narratives. So President Hakainde Hichilema has exposed the truth that when they meet in Addis or somewhere else in the continent, what they discuss is politics. They want to stay in power for too long. That's why they are discussing, how can you help me to stay in power? Did you help me when people turn against me? I think that's what they are discussing. We want leaders who are discussing development, investment, job creation. So with the resources that we have, I think Africa should not be a begging continent. We should become a donor continent. But because we spend a lot of time, as President Hakainde Hichilema said, to discuss politics instead of discussing investment, we are still looking, or we are still begging continent. The time for politics is over now. President Hakainde Hichilema also has touched the issue of value addition. Listen what he said on the issue of value addition.
Add additional value. Process. It fits in our growth agenda. So we'll have a fit there, hand in glove, and we'll be supportive throughout. I must always remind fellow citizens that when we do these things, they will benefit our population in many ways. Free education for our children. As we seek growth of our own country, we also seek the growth of our region. SADC, our region's East African Community, ECOWAS, the North, Arab Africa, Central Africa, because we understand if our continent is growing, then we are able to address a lot of things, including nuances, such as the boat people going into Europe. If we offer them opportunities on this continent, the chances are that they don't have to take the risks that they're taking, with the possibility of dying in the high seas. But they do it over and over because they're looking for opportunities. Let's convert our resource endowment into value and create opportunities for our people. Very simple.
Yes, that's what President Hakainde Hichilema has also insisted. Family, friends, that's something that I want to share from what President Hakainde Hichilema has said. Just an additional. If you look Africa regionally, you will understand that there's no need for Africa or Africans to suffer, whether it's a shortage of energy or job opportunities, because every region has resources. I want to mention just a few things in those regions. Let me start with southern part of the continent. We are talking about SADC. If SADC leaders are serious, they want development, they have everything. When you talk about SADC, you are including countries such as Congo DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. You are talking about Zambia. You are talking about Tanzania. You are talking about South Africa. You are talking about Namibia. You are talking about Zimbabwe. You see, Malawi. Those are countries that are in SADC region. Let me ask you. Look, for instance, in Namibia. Namibia has uranium. If it's about source of energy, Namibia has uranium. If SADC want a reliable energy supply, they can invest in Namibia, in uranium or in atomic energy. If we are serious, in Namibia also there is oil. If we want oil, we can invest in oil in Namibia. Also, Namibia has gas, natural gas. So Namibia can supply natural gas to some countries in the SADC region. Go to Zambia. Zambia has rare earth minerals. Of course, Zambia is famous for copper, but Zambia has a lot of minerals. Let us concentrate on copper. Zambia can supply copper for all industries in the SADC region. Or Zambia can become a processing hub of copper in the SADC region and can supply to the other regions in the continent of Africa. That is Zambia. If you go to Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe is famous for lithium, is rich in lithium. If you talk about electric car batteries, you are talking about Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe can offer that opportunity. I'm talking about SADC region. But leaders are not working together, are not discussing these things economically and in investment firms. They're busy discussing politics. That's what President Hakainde Hichilema has said. So let us go to Tanzania. As a member of SADC, Tanzania has natural gas. Tanzania can supply natural gas to other countries. Tanzania has Tanzanite, the only minerals that are found in Africa and the world are in Tanzania, called Tanzanite. Has gold, as diamond. So, do you think there's a need for SADC to cry for that there's no jobs? Just, I have mentioned a few countries. I'm still continuing with some countries. I didn't reach Democratic Republic of Congo, a richest resource country. I'm still in Tanzania. Now I'm moving to Botswana as a member state of SADC. Botswana is famous for diamond. If Africa in SADC region can invest in diamond, they can make a lot of money. There's no need for us to go out there to seek loans with highest interest. If we can come together, as President Hichilema said, the problem that we are not discussing economy, we are discussing politics. That, you know, I want to stay in power, so will you host me? Will you support me? That's what they are discussing. But if we are serious, we want to discuss economy. There's no need for these countries in SADC region to suffer with shortage of job and fund. They have everything. Now let us go to Democratic Republic of Congo. a richest resource country. Congo has everything. Is a blessed country in this world. Has everything. Is a member of SADC. Congo has uranium. Congo has waterfall in the Inga Dam, where if SADC region can invest properly in the Inga Dam, they can have reliable energy supply through hydroelectric power. So that is about SADC. Go to East African Community, and of course these countries also are members of East African communities, such as Tanzania, Congo, are members of East African Community. Also Uganda. Uganda has oil. We know Uganda has oil. South Sudan has oil. Congo itself has oil. So what are we lacking as Africa? Tell me, what are we lacking? Uganda has iron ore. If you talk about this railway, high-speed trains, we have iron ore. Why don't we use our iron ore to build our own railways? We have coal. If you go to Tanzania, there's coal there. If you go to South Africa is a member of SADC. Of course, I have skipped it a little bit. South Africa has everything. But we are not discussing economy. We are discussing politics. We lack nothing. Now let us move to West Africa. I'm talking about ECOWAS region and the Alliance of Sahel States. Starting with the Alliance of Sahel States, all of us, we are familiar that the Alliance of Sahel States region is rich in terms of oil and uranium. I'm talking about Niger. Niger is rich in terms of uranium, is the main supplier of uranium and main producer of uranium in this continent. So if we can work properly and invest well in uranium in Niger, we can have a reliable energy supply to power our industries. So if we power our industries, it means we create jobs to our young men and women. Instead of our people, young men and women, running away from this continent, trying to seek green pasture somewhere else and lost and risk their lives in the oceans and seas, they can remain here in the continent of Africa. And also, Niger is famous for oil production. Apart from that, if you go to countries such as Burkina Faso and Mali, these countries are famous for producing cotton, so we can invest in textile industries in those countries. Mali and Burkina Faso can become a textile industry hub in the continent of Africa because they are the main producers of cotton. Not only that, there's gold there. So you can see everywhere there are opportunities. Let us move to ECOWAS. If you talk about ECOWAS, you're talking countries such as Ghana, Nigeria, Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire. These countries are so rich. Tell me what ECOWAS countries lack as a region, what they lack. If it's about oil, Nigeria is the main producer of oil. If about gold, Ghana is the main producer of gold. That's why Ghana was called the Gold Coast. If it's about cocoa, you talk about Cote d'Ivoire. If you are talking about fishing, you are talking about Senegal. Senegal has oil, has natural gas, has everything that needed for the people to thrive toward development. What we lack, if you go to the Arab countries, you know all of us what they have. If you talk about Libya, you know what Libya have. So we lack nothing. We lack nothing. What we lack is commitment, I think. So as President Hakainde Hichilema said, that we'll use a lot of time to discuss politics instead of discussing investment and development. Now you can see every region has opportunity to create jobs and to add value to their resources. We lack nothing. And if we can work together continentally, I hope we can move in the right direction. If we can start doing this regional hub or economic regional hubs, we can thrive and we can move in the right direction, because we lack nothing but in terms of resources, but we lack intelligent people who will convince our leaders to start discussing investment and development. And while we discuss investment and development, we should consider Africans. You know, we Africans, we have one challenge or one problem. When we talk about investment, we think about white people. We don't think about Africans. We don't think about our brothers and sisters who are in the diaspora. We think about people from China, from India, or people who are white people. We think such kind of people. We don't believe that black people can become an investor. And if it's black people, they invest in small things. We want Africans, black people, to invest in diamond, to invest in uranium. There's those who may say that we don't have capital, we don't have technologies. But the time is now to find. We have trained many people for many years. What are they doing? What are they doing? We need to bring all of them together. I'm sure if we can find Africans who are expert in uranium, we'll find them. We can call all Africans who are expert in uranium and come together and tell us what they can do in our uranium. The same to gold, the same to agriculture, the same to engineering. We have many engineers in this continent. What can they do? How they can contribute to our mother continent, Africa. If we can do like that, dear lovely family, things will be simple. What we lack is commitment, working together, and we use a lot of time to discuss politics. That's why we are failing. Dear lovely family, friends, fellow Africans, have no more to add from what you heard. That was just a bombshell dropped by the president of Zambia, Her Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema. Up to that, dear lovely family, have no more to add. Please, if you have anything new or you want to add something, please do so through the comment section. And if you're new in this platform, please subscribe to join the big family of Making Africa Great. We are here to find the best solution for our challenges and to build the better Africa that all of us we are dreaming about. So kings and queens, please like the video and also share this video to other Africans who are here in the continent and to those who are in the diaspora. Up to that, let me say, see you next time. Stay in power. Thank you.
Thank you, Africa.